Have you ever noticed how debt consolidation sounds like freedom, but starts to feel a little like deja vu? You're told it's the smartest move. Combine your debts into one easy payment. But here's the truth that no one tells you. It's not a way out. It's a way to stay comfortable in the cage. You don't fix debt by moving it around. You fix it by changing your habits. And that relief you feel when you consolidate, that's the danger. Because when the pressure's gone, the urgency to change goes with it. In this episode, I am going to expose why debt consolidation keeps 9 out of 10 people stuck and how to build a good plan to get out of debt once and for all. Let's go.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror. Where future success is reflected in our knowledge of fixing the one thing we can control, ourselves.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror, and thanks for joining me today as we continue to work to improve the one thing that we can control, ourselves. Here's the Financial Mirror. It is not about the numbers and spreadsheets alone, but about transforming and educating you on money so that you can make smarter financial decisions. If this is the first time you're joining in, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube to be notified of all the new episodes as they release. If you're listening to us on Rumble, don't forget to follow the channel and like the video, and on any podcast platform of your choice, don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. So have you ever noticed how the words debt consolidation sounds reasonable? It does. It's got a nice adult ring to it, like you're doing the right thing. But here's the truth, and it's really not that pretty. Debt consolidation is one of the biggest traps keeping hardworking people, just like you, stuck in this cycle of debt. It feels smart. It seems strategic. But what it really does is it takes away the one thing that could have saved you: pressure. Pressure is the discomfort that you need to get out of debt. That little knot in your stomach when the bills are due is the pressure that you need to get out of debt. And because when that pressure disappears, the motivation to change disappears with it. If you've ever thought about debt consolidation and it being your way out, I'm hoping that this episode can change how you think about money forever. So let's get deep into the truth behind debt consolidation and how to build a good plan, a get out of debt plan that puts you back in control. So here's the deal. You've got bills everywhere. You've got a credit card here, a personal loan there, maybe a car payment or two, but it's stressful. It is stressful. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not. You probably can't even remember when it's owed or sometimes even who you owe at times. And then one day you see this shiny ad that pops up and says, combine all of your debts into one easy payment and possibly save some money along the way. You think finally some breathing room, life is going to be great, one payment, one due date, less chaos, less pressure. Feels like the responsible move. But listen, it's not freedom. It's literally anesthesia because it's just going to numb the pain, but the pain is still going to be there. It will show back up. Debt consolidation numbs the pain, but it doesn't heal the wound. You still owe every dollar. You're just bundling it up into one package to send it to a brand new lender and someone else that's going to hit up your phone and call you whenever you don't pay them. You've just changed the name of the envelope. So if your goal is to stop feeling broke, instead of being broke, you can get out of debt plan and start to move in that direction. I want to teach you today how the freedom from debt comes from working a plan, not from making another financial move. That's not the next thing you need to do. Imagine this. Imagine that you are struggling and juggling 5 payments every month. You're literally spinning plates, like old, circus style plates on sticks. You're spinning them and every one of them could crash at any moment. One emergency in your life, all the plates could come tumbling down. And the anxiety that comes with that, sure, it's real. You can't sleep. You're looking at bank balances. You're trying to align when you get paid versus when this bill is due, swiping the credit card, hoping it goes through. And then one day someone's coming along and saying, hey, let's roll it into one thing. That thing is debt consolidation. And what is it? Well, simply put, this is Experian is off of their website, but I think they do a really good job kind of laying out the 4 methods that people commonly leverage for debt consolidation. You have people that will go the personal loan route. You have people that will go the balance transfer credit card route. You have people that will do home equity loans. And then you have people that do HELOCs or home equity lines of credit. So here's the thing about all of these. All of these are just a way for you to take all of your bills, all the debt that you owe, and you pay it off. You pay it off with one of these debt consolidation methods, and now the only thing you owe is the new debt consolidation method. So if you chose personal loan, you take out the personal loan, you pay off all your debts with the money that you got, and then all of a sudden, you only have the personal loan to pay off, right? So you consolidate your debt, and it feels more manageable. Balance transfer credit cards are another really big one that I see people utilizing, especially if they don't have a lot of debt. They like to go the balance transfer credit card route because of these introductory 0% APR for normally 12 to 18 months. It says right here up to 21. Most of them I see is 12 to 18 months that people will do this for. And what do? Well, you transfer your balances from all your other debts to this one credit card and you pay it off. Now, when it's not paid off in that introductory time frame, depending on the credit card, you could end up owing interest on all the past months that were originally 0%. So there's little pieces of details that can sometimes be left out, but in all honesty, all of those across the board are about the same. They're all about the same. They're all just you consolidating your debt into one simple payment. So let's break it down like a coach for a second. When you consolidate, your monthly payment usually goes down. It usually does. And I'm not making this up. Like sometimes your payment will go down. Your minimum payment will go down if you add them all up, right? How much you're paying goes down. And you think, yes, I'm saving money. But here's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that the lower payments usually means longer terms. Yes, it's smaller today, but when you're paying it over time, you're really stretching that thing out over years. So what you save in that monthly relief, you lose in overall total cost. Debt consolidation doesn't help you escape debt. It helps you be comfortable in it, right? It really just helps you be comfortable being in debt. That's not freedom. That's literally just financial comfort, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. It literally just makes you feel like you're keeping your head above water, but it's literally like right above water, like nose barely out of the surface of the water. That, we can see it by the fact that 88% of people who take out debt consolidation loans or use those balance transfer credit cards or home equity loans or anything like that, they end up right back in debt. That's not an opinion. Like we see it over and over and over again. People are taking out debt consolidation loans and they're ending up right back in debt. Why? Because the problem is not a math problem, and it never is. When we're talking about money, and especially debt, it's never a math problem. It's always a behavior problem. Until you change the way you think about your debt, until you allow that pressure to apply to your life and for you not to alleviate it with something like a debt consolidation loan, you'll keep finding new ways to make debt feel manageable. And you'll continue to do that instead of making the debt disappear. So that's really the truth behind all of it, is that yes, does a debt consolidation, could it make getting out of debt easier? Yes. Could it make it less painful? Yes. Could it sometimes even make it more manageable and quicker? Potentially. Everybody's situation is different, and I'm not saying that across the board they're all the same. But what I am saying is that it gives you a false sense of progress that you're getting out of debt, and really you're standing in the same spot. Potentially you have moved a few steps backwards depending on the situation. So if you want to actually start to get out of debt and do it in a way that is showing time and time again that is effective, building a get out of debt plan, I call it a good plan, a get out of debt plan. This is your roadmap to financial peace. This is your roadmap to finally breaking free of debt. And it's not fancy, it's not complicated, but it's super powerful. And I want to walk you through step by step on how it works. So G.O.O.D, so get out of debt plan, that is going to be your roadmap. That is how you get out of debt. This is not a debt consolidation method. This is just you owning your debt, building a plan, and executing. So the first thing, the G for the get out of debt plan, is just you've got to gain awareness. You have to face it. You've got to face that you have debt. You have to face that you are living day in and day out with the pressures of debt. And that's okay. That's okay, because you need that pressure to keep the pressure on you to get out. So first thing you have to do is you have to write it down. You've got to write down every single debt you owe. No rounding, no guessing, no hiding. Put it all in front of you. Write it down, because you can't conquer what you have not confronted. So you've got to lay it all out. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you forgot about that thing that you had, you've taken a 0% interest loan out on, but you got to write it down. You got to write them all down, and that's good. That discomfort that you may be feeling, that's clarity. You are creating an environment where clarity will help be the driver behind you becoming debt free. So that's the G. The O. The O in the good plan is all about owning the numbers. You've got to know exactly what's coming in and exactly what's going out. Your income, your expenses, every dollar, you have to know. Money does not move without your permission. So you've got to control where it goes. When money's coming in, you've got to have a budget that will allow you to know, here's how much I'm paying on this debt. Here's how much I'm paying on that debt. And here's how much I have to live on, right? You would be amazed at how many people say they're quote unquote broke, but they also have no idea where their money is actually going, right? They have no idea. They'll say, I'm broke. I don't have enough to live on. Like, okay, well, where do you spend your money the most? Well, I think it's on this. No. There's no thinking when it comes to money. You've got to know, where are you spending a majority of your money? I'll tell you, for me, the biggest place that me and my family spend money is all around food. We love to eat. So what do? We spend a lot of money on groceries. We spend a lot of money on meals. We spend it's just the opportunity to all come together is just a great time for us. And we spend money on food. But what is it for you, right? Like, where do you spend a majority of your money? And if you do not know, you're behind the curve right here on being able to get out of debt. Debt consolidation is not going to fix that. Getting a good budget where you can actually own the numbers is how you fix that, right? You can't build wealth if your money is just wandering off unsupervised. You've got to nail it down and know where it's going. So that's the first O. The second O is all about optimizing your spending. You've got to cut what doesn't serve you. Every subscription, every impulse purchase, every treat, that's really a trap that's keeping you in debt. So ask yourself, when something's coming up and it's time to spend money, ask yourself, does this purchase move me closer to being debt-free or further away? And while you're in debt, anytime it's moving you further away or even not moving the needle much in either direction, probably not a good idea. If it's not moving you closer to being out of debt, it's moving you backward. Hands down, it's moving you backward. Use every dollar you make to get closer to being debt-free. Budgeting isn't punishment, it's protection. It's a way for you to tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went, okay? And then the D. The D is we've got to destroy the debt. This is where the power kicks in. Use the debt snowball method. I'm telling you, list all of your debts, smallest to largest, not by interest rate, but by balance, and then pay the minimum on everything except the smallest debt, and then go after that smallest debt with some intensity. Sell stuff, pick up a side hustle, cut back hard on spending Do whatever it takes to knock that debt out fast. Then take that money that you were paying on that very first debt when you listed them from smallest to largest and roll that into the next one, then the next, then the next. Every win creates a little bit more momentum, and every balance that hits zero builds confidence and belief in yourself that you can do it. And once you feel that rush, you'll never want to go back. I tell people all the time, one of the worst things that could happen is student loan forgiveness. One of the worst things that could happen is people filing for bankruptcy because they can't figure out a way to get out of debt. I'm telling you, everyone has the capability to get themselves out of debt. The problem that most people face is that they do not have the capacity to change their behavior about how they think and spend about their money. They don't want to budget. Are you in debt? Yes. Do you budget? No. Not a good answer, right? If you're in debt and you're not managing your money, you're just going to stay in debt or end up in more debt, right? Because here's the cycle. The cycle is I'm in debt, emergency comes up, I don't have enough money, so I use debt to fulfill or get out of that emergency, and now I'm in more debt. And now I'm going to make progress until another emergency happens where I'm going to take on more debt to try to get myself out of that emergency, and it is a vicious cycle. So what I'm here to tell you is that if you're not managing your money, if you're not managing where your money is going, if you're not owning the numbers, if you're not optimizing your spending, if you're not destroying your debt, you will continue to have struggles with debt. And debt consolidation won't fix that. It won't. You'll be in the 88th percentile of folks that are just continuing to go further in debt even after they consolidate. But a good plan, a get out of debt plan, a plan focused on gaining awareness, owning the numbers, optimizing your spending, and destroying the debt, that is a simple, structured, and brutally effective way to get out of debt. If you will do it, you will get out of debt. So listen, getting out of debt is not about math. It's not. It has nothing to do with math, and it has everything to do with your mindset. If you continue to think like a borrower, you will stay a borrower. If you continue to think like I need to use debt, and let me just go off on a tangent for just a second. If you are in debt and you're still trying to get travel points and use certain credit cards to buy certain things, but you're in debt, please stop. You literally make pennies on the dollar for the money, and you're putting yourself in a very dangerous situation if you're already in debt. Please stop. Please stop. That's my tangent. I'm not gonna beat you up about it, but I'm here to tell you, stop making pennies on every dollar you spend, putting yourself in a really bad situation to continue to play in with the risky game of debt. Get out of debt first, build some really good financial habits, and then go down the path of leveraging credit cards for travel rewards. I'm not telling you it's a bad idea. I'm not telling you that it's terrible. Yes, you're already spending the money. Why not be, rewarded for it? But don't put yourself in a position to where you're adding up debt when you're already struggling with debt. It doesn't make sense. If you think like a borrower, you will stay like a borrower. If you'll think like a builder, you'll become one. Start to build wealth. That is the way you have to think about money. Debt consolidation says, I want to feel better. This good plan, this get out of debt plan says, I want to be better. You want to be better. That's the difference between surviving and transforming when it comes to money. So here's the truth. You can't borrow your way to peace. You can't consolidate your way to peace. You can't refinance your way to discipline. You can't consolidate your way to character. You can't. You can't do it. You've got to build it. Debt freedom doesn't come from a bank. It comes from you changing your behavior and how you view and spend money. It's you deciding that enough is enough, that you'd rather live tight for a season than live trapped for a lifetime. Like, that is where it all comes from. Debt consolidation, true, will give you comfort. But the good plan, the get out of debt plan, gives you the change you need to really start to make a difference and make an impact on your financing. Here's what I want you to do after this episode. I don't want you to nod and say, oh, that was just a great episode, or, oh, I'm not listening to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I want you to take action. I want you to sit down, grab a notebook, write down your debts tonight, all of them. and start your get out of debt plan. Start your good plan. Gain awareness, own the numbers, optimize your spending, and destroy your debt. Because listen, freedom isn't found in a financial product. You're not going to go and consolidate your way to financial freedom. It's found in a decision. It's the decision that you don't need another loan. You're drawing a line in the sand between you and debt. And that pressure that you're feeling right now, it's not punishment, it's purpose. It's purpose. It's your wake-up call to start fighting for your financial future. Waiting for the next handout, waiting for the next thing to come along, waiting for the next raise, waiting for all these things that may or may not happen is not what you need. What you need is a change of behavior where you start leaning in, focusing on the money that you do have, and getting rid of the debt that's holding you back from achieving your financial goals. You can do this. You can live a life without payments, without fear, without change. The goal isn't to manage debt for the rest of your life. The goal is to eliminate it. Because the second the debt's gone is the second you can start building wealth. So I hope this episode has helped you. Go build your good plan. Go build that get out of debt plan and know that there is a future for you with money. But it's all about you taking that first step. Okay. So if this episode helps you, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share with someone who may need to hear the truth about debt consolidation and just being in debt in general today. And if you're ready to take power of your finances, start your good plan right now. Not next month, not next week, but today. Because your future deserves something better than one easy payment. It deserves financial freedom for the rest of your life. So you've got it. Now go and get out of debt. Till next week, continue improving the one thing you can control, yourself. Peace.
Well, that wraps up today's Financial Mirror. Join us next week as we continue to work on ourselves, change our mentality, and to commit to achieving the success we always envisioned. Regardless of your platform, help us grow as a community. Please like, subscribe, and share with the people in your lives.